My name is Joakim, and I will try to guide you a little bit and look at some stone walls in my perfect Swinglish. A few years ago, I did this project in Hantverkslaboratoriet, where I went to different craftspeople in Sweden and interviewed them in stone walling and wrote it down in a book. So I tried to gather knowledge about the craft of dry stone walling in Sweden. This is Knut-Steffen also, and we will be doing this workshop tomorrow. Now we're going to look at some walls and talk about them, and tomorrow we're going to work with it. Yeah. We're standing next to a wall here. And what do you say about this wall, just spontaneous?
The stones are really big.
Yeah. And these markings.
Oh, yeah.
Is it anyone who has seen that before? No, I don't think I ever seen it either. No. And we've been talking about why is it like that? Is it for the plaster to sit better, or is it just for decoration? And I think we have decided it's just for decoration. Because we can't see any traces of any plaster on the wall. And it would be a lot of work that probably isn't necessary for the plaster. The plaster could get stuck anyway without these holes. So it's probably just for decoration. I think it's quite beautiful, actually. Yeah. It's a very nice effect. You said it was big stones. And what you can look after is if you see any traces of how it's been splitted or in some way. And here you can see some traces of that.
Some of them have marks.
And here. And that's from a drill. You drill these holes and you put wedges and crack the stone apart. That's the only place in this wall where you can see drill holes. Maybe they are not original, I don't know. Maybe they are newer, I don't know, it's just a speculation. Because you don't see them anywhere but here. They haven't the markings as well, so this wall has been fixed at some point. We go around the corner. This wall has top stones. That's bigger flat stones that is like a roof. And if you come closer and you can see there are some markings in the stone. It's been something that's been keeping these stones together, but they are gone now. And here I think some of the stones are not like that. That doesn't look like the old stone. And that will be like that for us tomorrow too, because we don't have this old material. We have to put new there, and then you can see a little difference. What is different with this wall from the previous wall?
It looks more like bricks.
No markings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're more even in shape. You said it looks more like bricks.
Yeah, that's right. This is really a well-made and a lot of work to get the stones this like brick shaped. So they have really put an effort in making the stones very even, and they are like evenly thick. So this is a very we think it's because you should look up at the castle like this. This wall should be really nice. And if you look at the walls on the sides, they're also very, very good, but they're not this level. Okay, so this is supposed to be the oldest wall here. Am I right?
It's one of the oldest.
One of the oldest,
Yeah.
maybe. Okay, yeah. We have traces of mortar in some places, and even clay. And lime mortar in strange places. So I don't know really. something happened to this wall. And you see the top stones are taken off there, and they are lying in a pile over there. So yeah, but you can actually see some interesting things here. You see a drill hole here, and we were looking at this before and said, could this be modern? But if you can see, the hole is quite irregular, so that it must be made by hand. So it could be older than the machine drilling. Maybe. It looks like that. And then you drill a hole and you put some gunpowder and you blow the stone. So this stone looks like it's sprenged. What's it in English? Kaboom. Yeah. And you can see more of those like this also here. And you see the shape of the stones. They are very sharp. That's typical for when stones are kaboomed. Blown apart. Yeah, they get very sharp edges. We will see a modern wall also in the end with these modern stones. Okay, so what do we have here? Maybe it's just a boundary, or maybe it has been a wooden fence of some kind beside or on top of this. It's hard to tell, but if you want to understand more about a wall like this, you could go to old maps and check why is there a boundary here. In Sweden we have a lot of old maps to go back to, and sometimes you can find the answer in the old maps. Why is there a stone wall here? In Sweden we have different laws that protects old stone walls, and in this case it's standing in a forest. There's a law that protects what you can find in the forest, graves, stone walls, and things like that. And if we are in the garden, there is no such laws that protect them. But if we are in an agricultural area, then there is biotopskydd, so biotop protection, because they want to protect stone walls because they are habitat for different organisms in the agricultural landscape that often is very monocultural. So they are important. That's why they are protected. But a wall like this, I don't think we're not going to restore anything of this. It's just den får vara här bara. We move on. So this is a retaining wall, and it's quite high. A retaining wall is, when it's a terrace like that. But a retaining wall can also be two-sided. Yeah, can be. But most often it's just one side, and then the earth is coming. We have some interesting things here to look at. You can see there's water coming out here. Is that good? No. No, because water is often the problem when walls are damaged, because when it freezes, the water expands, and in time the stones will come out. What has to be done here is to get rid of the water, so it must be drained in the back. As you can see, this wall is not straight anymore. It's coming out like this, and there has been some big trees on top of this also that has been taken down, so maybe the roots have an effect. When it was growing, the roots can push the wall, and when you take off the tree, the roots will rot and create space. So trees are always can be a problem, and trees' roots always look for water. So if there's water in the wall, the tree's roots will go into the wall. But if it's no water in the wall, then it could be trees beside the wall if the roots are going in the other direction. So it doesn't have to be a problem. Maybe we should walk a little bit further down here. Now this is the edge of the wall. You always put the best stones to keep the corner. But I think it's a very big difference between the walling here and here. So it's hard to say if it's the same person or if it's done in different times. It's very hard to say. But yeah, I don't know. It's really like lots of small stones, and it's hard to say if these stones are, how deep they go into the wall. Maybe they are not so deep, or maybe they are shaped like this into the wall. You always try to put the biggest weight of the stone into the wall. Not always, but in this case it would be better. And if you have a stone, like a thin stone standing up, that's not good in a wall like this. It could easily fall out. It's okay to have these small stones, but then you put them in line with the wall. Then you put a nice facing side of the stone in line with the wall. But so maybe these are put here from the beginning, like that one, and some are put in afterwards. Maybe they could have been laid more tight, the big stones. Yeah, I think.
And here you have a corner who's laid very well, and you go over to another. You see the line; it doesn't overlap each other much. No. So this is a weak point in the wall.
Yes.
You see, you have.
Yeah, all the way there.
Yeah.
The joint.
So that's something you don't want when you are building a wall.
No.
Because here it's.
You
It's locked together.
can't make that line, no.
But here it can move a little bit free. But I think it's a nice wall.
Yeah.
But we should do something.
We should fix it. Yeah. This is the wall we talked about, where the stones come from, where they blow in the mountain and crush it to gravel and things like that. And then you can go and pick out some stones from there that look okay to build walls. They are a bit sharp, I think, in the angles and like that. That comes from they've been blown out of the mountain. But it's okay.
Do you see any weak points?
If I want to be critical, here's a joint that runs almost through the wall, but I see those things in old walls as well, and sometimes it doesn't affect the wall. But when you make dry stone walls, you always try to cross the joints and not have these running joints through the wall, because they are weak points, as we could see up there.
Can you show a good place on the wall with the strong one?
Well, yes. Here's this stone. If one stone rests on two. So this stone rests on two, and that stone rests on two, so it crosses the joints.
But here as well you see lots of smaller stones, but it's just to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual to do that. But they are not.
This could have been put more in line with the wall if you're going to
be out of stones.
Yeah. Yes. But it's easy to talk about it, and then when you're standing there with the stones, it's not that easy.
Just need it in place.
It's if you look at the wall and you want, this stone would fit here, and then you look at your pile of stones and it's not there. So you have to always think in another way, and then my first thought, this would look nice there. And then you have to think again, and maybe just try something else. Okay, we're going to end this day up at the wall that we're going to work on tomorrow. So let's go up there. So this is the wall we are working on tomorrow. It has been damaged. We heard that a bus drove into it. And if you stand over there and look at the wall, you can see it's been like moved a bit like this. The stones are quite big. We will try to show you some techniques for moving big stones, and we will also have a machine to lift the biggest stones. But then we're going to pick some parts down, look how it looks inside, and put stones back. So you can try all the important techniques in dry stone walling. Yes, thank you.